My cat is screaming at me in the background. Shut up. Hi, what's up? Gotta pet the cat. Hold on one sec. Hi. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we control two bodies. Each player controls 2 bodies. I could throw my puck. I can move my body just like that. The distance traveled is about how long it would take for your character to run that distance, give or take. And that's kind of how you could like you could throw your puck over a wall. If you're trying to do an exec, you could swap to it. Boom, you're over the wall. Bring your other guy over. Stuff like that. Anyway, this shooting range is mainly for, well, shooting. So let's show some guns. This is the starter pistol, the carbon. Move these a little closer.
15.
15. Can you do 4-3 stretched? Actually, that's a good question. If you play 4-3 stretched in this game, is it like Counter-Strike where you lose the sides, or is it like Valorant where 4-3 stretched is the same screen space, Lee?
Yeah, we were just talking about that today, and I think we're trying to decide. We're going to do something for
Thank you.
widescreen lovers, but I want to get you the real answer when we do it. So stay tuned.
Okay.
And we'll announce.
What's up, Russell?
We know it's popular. We know people love it. So.
And another question, and this is an interesting one, is widescreen a thing currently? Because I don't use widescreen, so I don't really know.
Yeah, same thing. Throw it all in the same
bucket.
Okay.
I
think it's like
where the frick I am.
Yeah, we're like I said, we're gonna try to do something to make it better for the people that love those things, and I just don't want to give the wrong answer because we're literally talking about it. I just sent a message like 10 minutes ago.
That's fair. It's always tough when you're talking about like game stuff like that, because if you say yes or no, or you say this and then you don't end up doing it, everyone's like, what the hell?
I commit to nothing.
And a question that people ask is game size. Is the game size, it's about like 10 gigs right now. Is that going to be for launch too?
Yeah, it's pretty close to what it should be.
Nice. Okay. I don't think I've ever used the bouncer. I just noticed that it has ADS, and it's like, I'm not a big shotgun guy, you know?
It's nasty. I was actually using it in the last playtest with
Adrenaline.
Pinnacle, and when you get the Adrenaline like speed buff, you can zoom around the
Zoom
corner
really fast, yeah. Because
and just hit fire people. It's actually very good.
If they let you get in range. Let's see actually how
Yeah.
fast I run if I pop my ability. So
Adrenaline.
healing myself. I'm giving my other character stim. Oh yeah, that'll be pretty good.
You got to play the right corner. Like it's very map specific,
Right.
corner specific. You definitely can't play it on every angle, but the angles you can play it on, it's really good.
Where the frick I am.
Fancy duster. Get some 1-digs. The duster is pretty hard to use. It's deceiving in the sense of like, yeah, you know, this is I could click heads. But then when you're actually in game trying to click heads with a duster, it's got its difficulty to it. But that's a good thing, because if it was insane for how much it costs, freaking, you could just buy 800. You could buy the duster shiv combo and just be able to 1-dig people. Every gun is bought in pairs, by the way. So when I bought this duster shiv, it gave me the duster, and it gave my other body the shiv, which is kind of fun because it allows like weapon diversity. So for example, like the tier 3 has the drummer, so you'd be the drummer cyclone. So you'd have a shotgun, and the shotgun overheats, and now you can't use it as fast. And then this is the cyclone, and then the other combo would be cyclone fury, and this is just an LMG. And then
on the duster.
I was gonna say my favorite is the Tempest. Well, 1-tap machine. Sorry, what were you gonna say about the duster?
I was just gonna say that Duster, you know, people are like, oh, now I can move and shoot, but they often forget that the enemy
is also
moving more.
Yeah.
So it makes it hard to hit.
Well, that's the thing. The moving and shooting makes it like, I guess like accessible and easier for some people that don't like to stop, shoot. But yeah, the hard part is if you're getting better at moving and shooting, so is the opponent. So like you'll end up having these fights where you guys are kind of strafing, hitting each other, and it actually can be hard to get that pinpoint shot. The beta just got announced today, right? On the 13th?
Yep, 13th. So you could wishlist on Steam, and we'll have Twitch drops. And if you get Twitch drops, link your accounts, and you can get in that way as well.
Ooh, that's a popular format right now. The Twitch drops for a key. For the keys, is it going to be like the other Twitch drops where it's limited?
Yes.
Per day?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. But the more you watch, the better. Wish list and do it on through Steam as well. Maximize your chances.
And if you were already in the stress test, you will be in the closed beta, right?
Yeah. Whatever you're in carries you through for all the tests.
Nice. If I have an FPS counter in this game, oh, I have it, but it's on Steam. There's an in-game FPS counter, right?
Yeah, you should be able to go to.
Where is it? Stats, client FPS, text or graph. Where is it? There it is, top left. Okay. All right. So yeah, that was me showing off the tier 3s, which is basically always comboed with a Cyclone. You'll always get a Cyclone, and then you can choose, do you want a shotgun with your Cyclone, an LMG, or a one-tap semi-auto, which is the Tempest, which is my favorite. It shows all the stats on the right. You'll see fire rate, you'll see run speed, you'll see magazine size, you'll see all that. Tier 2 is the Harpy. Pretty much a Marshal or Scout, I guess, but I think it shoots a little faster. It almost feels auto-sniperish. You could shoot it a little faster than other games like Counter-Strike or Valorant. And then it pairs with the Buzzsaw, which is... And that's a good example of how the hipfire looks. Hipfire, ADS. So you can hipfire, but definitely better to ADS. Leo, stop. Hey, buddy. Sorry, I had cat aggro. Had to kick the cat out. Okay. This is the popular tier 2. It's the Burst Buzzsaw. Burst here, Trident. The Trident goes hard. For this pairing for 1600 is strong, in my opinion. I think it's really good. Oh, that's a question that people had, is left hand. I'm not a left hand enjoyer. Is there left hand or plan to be left hand, Lee?
Yes. Yeah, we're gonna do it post-launch at some point. Again, no commitments on exactly when, but
right.
Yeah, we know the lefties out there need to
Where the frick
have
I
their
am.
left-handedness, so it's something we do.
I figured, right? Like, people like left hand. Why not, right?
Yep.
The Whisper Buzzsaw. This is the double SMG combo. If you're feeling, I don't know, if you're feeling like spraying and praying, you have this little guy, which sounds really satisfying. There's also a dummy back here that I can actually shoot. This is a fast recall. You could recall your guy really fast to this one. You spam through with this thing. Can you spam with the whole... Damn! This thing's got some bullet pen. I need to use the Whisper more often. What about the Buzzsaw? I guess it'll tell me if I look at the stats. The Whisper low-key sick.
The Whisper also, because it's suppressed, has a better hipfire accuracy. So it's one of the guns where if you like moving and shooting, you can do that more.
Yeah, but I feel like if you're just moving and shooting, though, you're not going to get the best results. But you're right. In a moving shooting situation, I could see it on this. I'm hitting way more frequently. But ADS is still king. Run the buzzsaw. How does that do? I mean, hey, you could do it. And then tier 4 is Berserker Crusader. Everything pairs with a Crusader here. This is a freaking scary LMG. It ramps up as you hold it. Low-key insane. You have so many bullets. Oh my god. You have 300 bullets with this thing. That's going to do some damage. People are going to find some crazy spams, I'm sure, with this gun. And then this is just the Crusader that everything pairs with. This gun's actually low-key nice. It reminds me of a Galil, I guess, from CS. I get Galil vibes. Everything is learnable recoil patterns. So every gun has learnable recoil patterns, where it'll always go the exact same every single time.
Quick I am.
That's what the Crusader looks like. Crusader kind of has that classic recoil feel, honestly. Feels like very traditional, exactly what you'd expect. Blackout, this is the M4, I guess, of the game. Suppressed as well, so you can hip fire it a little better. Obviously, hip fire is not as good as ADS, but you can do it. It is an option. And then this is kind of what it looks like. Recoil is about the same. It's a little bit easier to control than the Crusader. Kind of more of like a slightly straight down with a little left-rights. This gun is my bread and butter usually. And then we got the Reaver, and this is kind of like the AK, the one-tapper. Boom. This thing's a little bit harder to control, as you could tell. It frickin' flies. But if you could control this thing, I mean, it's insane. But instantly, you could tell the difference between this is Blackout, this is Reaver. It's got a much more aggressive kick, which makes sense, because this gun is a one-shot headshot, any distance. You could also zoom in these guns with 5. Or you change that keybind if you like, but that's default. And then the last tier 5. Tier 5 is kind of hard to get because it's giga expensive, but that's the point. Because the op is, well, an op. So, you don't see too many ops in games, especially if the games are close. Unless someone's saving hard, I guess. I just realized that the scope on the op is a actual scope.
That's right.
That's insane. Was that always a thing?
Yep. Yep.
Oh my god.
It's a little detail.
I mean, you would never actually use it, but it is cool to see. That tripped me out. I was like, I see this person on my scope. That's cool. And yeah, this just comes with the Whisper drummer and then the Blackout. This is the giga expensive one because it comes with a rifle and an op. This one's crazy expensive.
Someone's got to hit max rank with no scope op only.
Only use the scope on the right. You zoom in your picture, so you're only looking through the scope. That's it, on the right. And you're just walking around. I know what people are more interested in, and it's the abilities. So this is my favorite character that I chose. Well, I guess it defaults you. I didn't choose it, but this is Pinnacle. Pinnacle has grenades, a little cluster nade. A heal that also stims your other body. So look how fast I'm running with this op. Basically gives you a lot of run speed on your other body while your other one here is healing. You can use your pistol too. If you're ever healing like on eco or something, you could use your pistol and heal, which is kind of cool. And then the third one is a flash.
Flash up.
And a blind. The flashes in this game are pretty intense. There is moments where they can be kind of difficult to land given the circumstance, but yeah, they are insane when you land them. The flash is really dope, the animation, how it kind of pulls your view back for a second. It trips me out. Oh, people are asking if you could change the flash color. That seems to be a common trend.
Not right now, but yeah, that's definitely something we can look at. We did just nerf the flash, sort of in terms of how intense it was to your side. I'm not sure if it's in this build, but for the closed beta, if you look away, you'll be less flashed, which was a big point of feedback.
Yeah, I remember when we played that game with Tarek. Tarek was playing this character because he was like, I don't know how to play. We told him to play this, and he flashed himself a lot. And he does he likes to do the typical Counter-Strike thing, where you like have a flash, and you flash behind you, and then you peek.
Yeah, it should be easier now and less painful.
Nice. Morgan United. This is my second favorite. This is my when I'm feeling like smoking. This is where this character gets really interesting. So you have a smoke like this.
Dropping smoke.
Boom. But if you right-click the smoke, you can do something called a smoke shift with this character, where I can throw the smoke.
Doing smoke shift.
And also, my Spectre jumps inside the smoke, and the trail is not visible. So if you see this trail here, like they're not going to see this like second trail or whatever, so you're just going to be in the smoke. This is really crazy on exec. So if you're doing like a full like sight hit, like let's assume the sight is on the other side of the wall, you could line up a smoke. You know, you could call a flash, line up a smoke, boom, and I'm in. The danger of that, though, is once you see this Morgan smoke, everybody's going to respect it, right? Once you see this smoke, you know there's a very good chance that they smoke shifted inside. So you're either going to instantly jump in and try to take the person out, or you're just going to watch it heavily or spam it or whatever, or throw a molly in it. That's the second use of this character. You got a molly. Molly chunks. And then the third is just a typical trip.
Setting hidden grass.
You could walk up. You could shoot it if you're an enemy. But yeah, you could definitely spam the Morgan plays. But trust me, on a full exec, it can be a lot. Molly works in smoke? Yeah. This is my go-to second. It's Pinnacle and then Morgan. These are the characters I always play. I honestly should play more characters than just two. I played Bloom a little bit. This is Bloom.
Where the frick I am?
This is what I think Hannah was playing for her first playthrough of the game. So Bloom has a wall like this. And I've already seen fancy one-ways that people have done. You can't shoot through this. You break it. And there is some fancy one-way tech where you could, like... This isn't a map, so I can't really show you, but maybe I could show you on this box. Potentially.
Barrier here.
Doesn't really work on this box, but on some maps you could play Bloom and you could throw... Oh, did I get it? But anyway, you get the point. If it gets a little higher, you can use it as a one-way, and you can shoot people's legs if you can get this Bloom wall a little higher. This is just a heal. You can left-click to heal your target, right-click to heal yourself, and then Bloom also has a smoke.
Swarming.
And the smoke, when you're inside, does damage to you. So if you throw a smoke on a person, they're going to slowly... It's like a slight little burn. And that's pretty much Bloom. I mean, honestly, nice and simple. No ultimates on any of these characters. Obviously, as you can tell, no ultimates. It does not do damage to teammates, no. It'll do 100 damage for 12 seconds, and you can't...
Swarm grenade up.
You can't smoke shift. That was only tied to Morgan, so I can't throw my smoke and get my Spectre inside there. That is only a Morgan thing. Does not work with Bloom. Other characters, Riker. This character hurts my head a little bit. Riker's kind of like a Sova, but the twist is it doesn't pulse from...
Wave scanning.
It doesn't pulse from the actual like unit over there. It pulses to you. So the twist on this character is if I'm over here and I throw that over there and then I swap, it's going to pulse to me here. It's going to pulse again to me here. And now if I swap, pulse to this one. So you could essentially scan two parts of the map at the same time if you do it right. Obviously the travel time's pretty long. But if you're really good at this character, you're just insane. This is a trip. What's nice about a lot of these trips is like they're not just like invisible. and just mess you up instantly. Like, this is a very obvious trip. Like, the enemy's going to see this robot and be like, okay, well, I'm going to shoot it, obviously. But that's going to be enough to reveal their position.
Whole mine placed.
And then it also has these mines.
Whole mine going down.
These ones take like 2 hits to break. And even when you break them, you don't want to break them like inside. If you shoot them, they still explode. So if I was to actually break it, I think it's 2 hits. But if you mess up and you hit it like once and then you whiff, it'll still pulse. Is there a cooldown on switching? I mean, the cooldown is just the animation. There's no cooldown on switching between the two. So yes, you can technically watch 2 things. You could like jump spot here, watch this, jump spot again, watch this, or maybe do a jiggle if you don't want to jump spot, whatever you want to do. But yeah, it's pretty quick. That's Riker. That's the gist of Riker. Very complicated character, but if you get good at it, it's going to be insane. Vector dynamics. This one is, say kind of a fragger, I guess.
All right, amping up.
You hit this and you get a lot of fire rate.
Dual lamp active.
You can also do that. Nice quick. Bring yourself up. Got a wall.
Slow vector wall.
One thing on the teleport is you can use it even after you die. So if you set it and then run in and die, you can hit the Q again and then bring your second body over.
Really? When you could use
Where
it
the
from
frick
death?
I am.
Yeah, if like body 1 deploys it, rushes in, and dies, you can hit Q when you respawn in the second body. You can hit Q and it'll teleport you. There's a timer, so it has to be pretty fast. But yeah, it lets you.
That's crazy.
Re-attack if they're like rushing that location.
That's cool. And every time you get a kill, it resets the amp duration, right?
Correct.
So you got a lot of fire rate, you get a kill, and you keep going. I actually don't play this. I think I played this character like, I don't know, three or 4 times, so I don't play this character that much, but I'm just a big utility kind of guy.
Nanosphere.
I like having flashes, and I like having smokes. And this nanosphere just kind of keeps bouncing until it hits a target, right? Or if it hits a target.
Nanosphere, go.
And if it hits
Yeah,
you,
the like purple barrier or edging is yeah, it'll stop and shock someone if it touches them.
you get little lineups.
Sending the nanosphere.
Can you shoot it? You can shoot it, right? When it's coming at you? Pretty sure?
Yep. Yeah, if you shoot the object.
Right. You cannot swap characters in the game, no. The games are, I mean, they're not too long, so. Yeah, I don't believe you could break this wall,
Sending
correct?
vector wall.
Not breakable?
Vector wall going out.
The vector wall?
Yeah.
No, you can shoot, bullets go through, but it's going to last its duration.
Yeah, and then right click makes it
Vector
go
wall out.
faster. If you want it to move really quick. I should play Vector more, actually. I should. Next we have Ghost Link. This character is fun. Has anyone seen this before?
walking.
Where the
Yes.
fuck I am.
Any Yoru mains? You also got this wall.
Partitioning. Dupe up.
Where's the flash? Well, you don't get a flash on this character. But if
Making
they
it do-
shoot your clone, they get revealed. But yeah, no flashes on this character.
Dead zone.
This kind of acts as a flash. Kind of. If you walk in this dead zone, it messes up your vision. Like, a lot. So it's kind of a flash. So if you're like, you know, I don't know, doing some
Dude's going out.
fancy stuff, whatever, throw that
Dead
on
zone
them.
active.
Boom. Oh my god, they can't see what's happening. Distortion field. It's a little bit of a delay. It looks really cool. It's a really cool effect.
Dropping in dead zone.
It's super trippy. But yeah, usually when you're in this, you get out of this instantly. Bitrate killer. Move robotics. Throw patches.
Patches, go.
Patches heals you. Moves around.
Where the frick I am?
You could, I think you could make them stationary, right? Just throw them right here.
Stationary patches,
Yeah, stationary
placed.
patches, or you can do a bounces patches.
healing.
Okay, this isn't a real object. All good. This is your flash.
Oh, Dazzler.
This flash does not
No,
hit teammates,
Dazzler.
correct?
Correct. Yes.
Throwing Dazzler.
I want to see what it looks like. So maybe when we get in game, you can flash me with this character to see what it looks like, because I can't flash
Dazzler out.
myself.
Yeah, it's a partial flash. Like our intent is that you can kind of shoot back, given that it's much easier to hit with.
That was
and it doesn't hit teammates.
I remember when we were playing like a year ago, that was a big topic of discussion for me. I was
Popping
like,
Dazzler.
I was basically saying this flash is really good because it doesn't flash teammates, so it shouldn't be that disruptive, right? Or else it would be way too insane. So from what I recall about getting flashed, it actually is pretty manageable, and you most definitely can fight back when you get blind
Dazzler
by
up.
this Dazzler.
Throwing Dazzler. Got a Hyperdome here.
And then the Hyperdome. This one's interesting. You do fast recall. So if you really want to do like a big strat where you're on the other side of the map or something. So like let's say, I don't know, let's say that's B. We could show it when we're in game. But let's say that's B, this is A. This is a fast recall here, but you can actually make your own.
Placing Hyperdome.
So everybody could pull themselves back and boom, you soldier fake and you're now on the other side of the map. This is definitely a big support character. You know, flashing for your
Razzle
team,
Dazzler.
doing recalls,
Hyperdome up.
and then healing your team.
Patches healing.
A big, big support character for sure. How fast is it when it isn't a fast recall? Looks kind of like this. Versus...
Where the frick I am?
It's pretty fast. It's not as noticeable. I mean, it is noticeable here too, but when you're playing a full map, when you're actually doing the whole map's length, like this isn't even that far. From here to here isn't even that far, but when you're playing a whole map and you're going the whole map's length, it's definitely noticeable. And then last character is Umbra, the hardest character to play. But if you can play this character, you're going to be insane. This character is probably, I'm probably the least experienced at this character, to be honest. There's a lot going on here. The big thing is this pulse finder.
Okay, running Pulse Finder.
So you could basically be pulsing, like let's say this was A main, you could be pulsing it while on your other character. And when it pulses them, it obviously reveals them for a second. But the twist of this character is you have something called a glare burst. So you could throw this,
Glare bursting.
which is a normal boom, you get hit, you get flashed. But this is the twist of the character. This is where it gets kind of confusing. If this pulse hits somebody, I could spawn a glare burst directly on top of them. So I could boom, snap my fingers, and it's an AoE instantly on top of them. So it looks like a normal flash
Glare
like
burst
this.
out.
Not really good, honestly. You can't. It's hard to
the
kind of
frick I
flash
am?
when you do that. But if you pulse somebody,
For pulses.
you could drop a glare burst instantly on them, and it's a circle, and it just flashes them really, really quick.
Where the frick
And you could do
I
the
am?
same thing with this.
Recon wing away.
This character is really difficult because you have to actually play both you and your Spectre really well. You have to have good positioning on your pulse. You have to know if you want to do a target pulse,
Where the frick I
which
am?
I'll show you when we get into a server with Lee, what it looks like. So you could throw this literally, you could hit the alternative mode, which would be like right click, I believe, and it would drop it right on top of the target rather than throwing it like
Recon
so.
wing launched.
Where the frick I am?
You can show it off on the bot. If you run over the bot, the scanning marker should work on the bot.
Nice. Smart. Scan.
Pulse Finder up.
So you got a little marker. Aim at the marker,
Sending the glare.
and I AoE'd him. Let me get a little closer so you know what it looks like. Scan.
Checking for pulses.
So when you aim at him, you see at the bottom it highlights differently.
Where the frick I am?
So if I hit C,
Glare burst out.
and that's when this character is really insane. This character is at its best
Where the frick
when you
I
can do
am?
stuff like that. when you could literally drop an AoE
Sending glare
instantly and be able to flash a
Where the
rush.
frick I am?
And I believe you could do it across the map. There's no range on it, right? Like I could be on
Where
A
the frick I
site
am?
scanning,
Pulse finder up.
and I could be on B, and I just need to look at the target and just hit him, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Where the
And
frick
that's
I
like gives you split site play if you want one
Sending
sort
the
of
glare.
watching, and then if you like see a bunch of pings and then there's a rush coming, throw a flash on them to slow them down.
Yeah, this
Recon wing away.
character is very, very strong. Curious to see what happens when people get really, really good with this character. I feel like gonna be a must-have for some players.
And also map, definitely different strengths on the maps. Like Skyway is pretty open, so it's a little harder to set up versus on Metro, which is indoors and close. There's a lot of angles, where it'll cover a whole route, and so just depends on your strategy per map.
Right. Yeah, some maps are gonna have tighter corridors, and some will just have so much distance that you'd
Pulse
think you
finder
could pulse it
running.
all, but you really just can't. Yeah, the enemy does see the pulse. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, after you get hit by it, you'll see the rest of the scans, even if you don't get hit again. So get hit one time and like back up, you'll see where they're scanning. You can see if they're like actively rotating, or does it feel like it's just an inactive body doing it. You get a little read on it, and a lot of the time you can tell where they're set up based on where the scan line is coming from.
Right. I mean, you'll get a lot of reads on the setups based off of that once people get good, and then eventually, once people get really good at the game, you'll see the characters and be like, okay, they got Morgan, they're probably gonna trip this side of the map. They got Umbra, they're probably gonna be pulsing this side of the map, and so forth, right? There's gonna be the defaults that everyone makes. Let's jump into a map with Lee, shall we? No, you cannot sprint. You cannot sprint. But you can move and shoot. But no sprinting. Let's leave this training range. I showed a lot of guns. I showed all the characters. Let's show some of the maps. Do you have a lobby up?
Yep, I sent you a lobby code.
Perfect.
Go. Which map do you want to start on, Mill?
Yeah, that's fine. Join via code. Enter code. And I'm in. Bada boom, bada bing. We can go on row.
Alright, we're ready.
Yeah.
And the rounds will run like normal. We don't have ability to stop because this is a sort of like a live build. So we have to wait for the round timers and things like that.
Oh, like the whole typical cheats thing that you'd have isn't active in this build?
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't have any cheats here.
Which character should I... I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'm trying to think what would be a good character to show some stuff.
I'll bring the Dazzler on Mew.
Oh, yeah. I want to see with the Dazzler. Yep, that's a good call. Morgan would be the coolest, I think, because Morgan, you can actually show what
Morgan
the smoke
United.
shift could look like in an actual map, which is just intimidating when you see Morgan smokes and you have to look at every single Morgan smoke and be like, I don't know if they're here. Oh,
You
this
have
is a
the
fun little
sense.
feature too. I'm sure you guys already know this if you are interested in the game and seen videos and stuff. But during buy phase, you could just teleport around. So rather than running to your destination every single time, left click, right click, boom, I'm here. Let's say I want to go up here with this one and be down here with this one. Cool.
Where the frick I am?
Or split it up like so. Awesome. So you don't need to spend the whole time of you buy your weapons, you talk strategy, left click, right click, wherever you need to go,
Ready up?
and then boom, you're done. Now you can no longer do that. Obviously, freeze time is done.
Where the frick I am?
I can run through a reveal wall if you want to show off kind of.
There you are. Yeah. The game also, it being a 3v3 game, you'd think that it would be a lot, like, very easy to get flanked. And yes, that would be true because you can only watch so much at the same time. So that's why these security breach walls are up, where if you pass these walls, you can pass the wall really quick if you'd like. Boom, you get revealed like that so that people know. But these walls will eventually go down. I think they go down at 110 in the round time.
3 seconds.
120. 120. Okay, I thought it was 110. Now the reveal walls are down. And now your flanks are open and exposed. So for the first, like, 30 seconds, you're not getting flanked, pretty much. Which would make sense, because you would get flanked a lot. In a 3v3 game, you would get flanked a lot. Hit me with the move flash. Let's see it.
All right, here we go.
So yeah, you could definitely shoot back. Like, I know where he is. I'm aiming at his head. I'm aiming at his head. It's a little high,
We'll do
actually.
one around the corner. Like, I'll come around the corner here.
You missed.
Nice. But now we gotta wait.
Well, we can show the Spectre warning. It's popping off right now. So if you run back, my Spectre's behind you. Run around there. Every time he runs, it pings him. So now I know my Spectre's in danger. I could swap. Obviously, he would have killed me there. But you can see how that could be used in interesting spots where you can, like, potentially leave a Spectre in maybe a place with a lot of foot traffic, right? So people need to be walking or else they're going to reveal. Or not reveal, technically, but you'll hear him. He can kill my Spectre, yeah. You could blast him.
And if I walk, also you can't hear me.
The Zeus was dropped. Round lost.
He's dead.
You have the Zeus.
Oh, man. All right, let me show you what a smoke shift looks like in, I guess, practice. This is the suggested loadout. It's quick buy. You don't have to use quick buy. You can click primary, and you can look at everything that you have here. Rather than quick, but up to you. Sidearm tab is here. Yeah, it is free to play.
No loot boxes.
Don't forget the Zeus.
Why'd you lose when the Spectre died? We just ran out of time. We don't have infinite time on. We don't have access to the...
You have the Zeus.
We don't have access to the cheats in this current build. So to show you what a smoke shift looks like, the problem with this map is it's kind of difficult because a lot of the, like if you were to go over on B site, for example, it's all kind of closed in. So smoke shifting on B site won't be, like you could do it, it's just going to be a little bit harder and honestly kind of obvious, right? If I'm B main and I want to smoke shift, like let's say into site, I want to smoke this
Shifting with smoke.
into site, it's going to be pretty obvious. He's just be waiting for me and he would just kind of blast me, but yeah, now I'm in my smoke. As so. But on situations where you're maybe trying to split, let's say connector here, where we're at, this is one I like to do a lot, is I like to have a teammate with me here, and then I like to smoke shift into connector like so. So I'm smoking connector, I'm smoke shifting in, my teammates are running through, they run through, I run with them, and I'm behind them. The smoke shift part of Morgan is so freaking fun, but if you use it wrong, you're obviously going to get really punished. It's pretty easy to tell that it's coming, unless it gets really chaotic and lots of flashes are coming in.